Children, hope you all are fine and understanding the videos made by me. So in my attempt of teaching you the chapters work and energy, today we will be talking about types of energy and law of conservation of energy. Let's go for it. So children, these are the types of energy. So in types of energy, we are going to read the types that are there in your syllabus only. So the first, mechanical energy, which already we talked about. Still I'll discuss again today about it. Then we'll talk about heat energy. Then we'll talk about light energy. Then we'll talk about electrical energy, wind energy and chemical energy. It's not like these many types of energy are only there. There are many more types of energy, but this is the portion that we'll be covering up in class 8. Here, I have a setup of a pendulum. You can see this is called the stand. This is the string, and the string is tied to a bob. You can see this bob. I'm bringing closer to it. This is the bob. So this whole setup is of a pendulum, and we'll talk about possessed by the bob when it is not moving. It is potential energy. Now when I release the bob, what is the energy possessed now? Yes, it's the kinetic energy. This is a project made by one of your seniors. I thought of using this even to show you the potential and kinetic energy. Now you can see our Ferrari 063 is not moving. So the energy possessed by our Ferrari right now is potential energy. Now, ever wondered what energy does this aeroplane has? Well, you would say it has kinetic energy because it's flying up the sky. Yes, very true. It is having kinetic energy, but because it is at a height from the ground, it also has potential energy into it. So the energy possessed by this aeroplane right now is the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy, that is mechanical energy. So potential energy and kinetic energy together makes mechanical energy. Oh, nice drawing, right? This is our sun, and sun is the natural source of heat and light energy. So we'll talk about the heat energy. Sun gives us heat. We thought of some other ways of getting the heat energy. So you can list out the different types and through which we can get heat energy. Yes, you have fire, you have... Now, what if I give you a cup of hot and a cold coffee? What is the difference between them? Yes, the hot coffee has more heat energy than the cold coffee. This is in terms of physics. Well, you may say that I like the hot coffee and the other may say I like the cold coffee. But yes, in terms of physics, we are going to talk about the hot coffee has more heat energy. You all know this steam engine? This steam engine was invented to use the heat energy released by burning of coal to produce steam. You can see the steam coming out. This steam energy enabled the train to run. Next, talking about light energy. Now, light energy is really very essential. As you know, it gives us the sensation of vision. Just imagine what this classroom would have been if there was no light energy. Just imagine this video running without anything on the screen. So, light energy is essential to see things. Now, there are different types of things. There are things that can liberate light. So, they are called luminous sources of energy, non-luminous sources of energy, sources of light energy which can give out light of their own, like our sun, the artificial sources like the bulbs, the tube lights, even the moon is also an artificial source of light. Coming up to electrical energy, you know, today in today's era, thinking about life without electricity is very difficult, isn't it? So you have so many appliances at home which are run using the electrical energy. Our TV, even the mobile has to be charged using the electrical energy, isn't it? The bulbs, the fans, the ACs, mama's washing machine, mixer grinder, everything needs electrical energy to. It's a switch. What is its work? It allows current to pass through it, isn't it? Now, if I don't plug on, I don't know what is electrical energy. Now, if I plug it on, just see what's happening. Yay, you got a red light. Well, this is electrical energy converted to light energy. And we can also use electrical energy for many more purposes. For example, there is another use of electrical energy. Well, you can go for many more to go. Remember reading this in your bio classes? They provide energy. So, what type of energy do you get from food? Food provides us with chemical energy. Yes, dear, chemical energy is also formed from food. We get chemical energy from food, and the energy released after eating these foods helps us do different activities like swimming, dancing, walking, cycling, and all other activities that we do in our daily life. These all activities need energy. And the energy is obtained from the food that we eat. Chemical energy are of two types. One that we get from the food. The other is that we get from fuels. All these vehicles need fossil fuels to move. Fuels like petroleum, diesel are used by these vehicles to move around. Now, what is this, children? Yes, it's a battery, but in terms of physics, what is the type of energy stored in a battery? It's chemical energy. So, a battery has stored chemical energy inside it, which is then used to convert into different forms of energy. Like now I'll show you how it converts chemical energy to light energy. So this is our moving light. When electricity is not there, this is the way we can have our light energy. This is how wind energy is used. You can see lot of big poles with fans in them, the blades in them. These are big fans that are installed near the seashores, which captures the wind energy blowing there and is then converted to electrical energy. Now let us sum up all the types of energy that we read today. Heat energy, the energy transformed from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature is called heat energy. Light energy, the energy that causes the sensation of vision is called light energy. Coming up to electrical energy, the energy produced by the movement of electric charges is called electrical energy. Now coming to wind energy, the moving air is called wind, and the kinetic energy possessed by the wind is called wind energy. This energy harnessed by the device called windmill, we saw it. Now finally coming up to the chemical energy, the energy released during any chemical reactions is called chemical energy. So the energy that is stored in food is also chemical energy. Fuels such as petrol and diesel stored are also having lot of chemical energy in them. Next we'll be talking about law of conservation of energy. The law of conservation of energy says that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to the other. So this is the statement for law of conservation of energy. So energy is not created, it is not destroyed, it is only transformed. Like in the torch, the chemical energy is converted to light energy. Like in the bulb, electrical energy is converted to light and heat. Like in the heater, electrical to. So we'll be talking about different transformations of energy. Now let us understand this conservation of energy, what it actually means. Through an example, say this is a freely falling body. This body is kept at a height of h. As we know, mechanical energy is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Now in terms of this, when the body is at this position, at a height of h from the ground, at this position, the body is not moving and is at a height, so it possesses some potential energy, but because the body is not moving, its kinetic energy is equal to 0. And now, if you want to find out what is the potential energy of it, the potential energy of this body will be mass into acceleration due to gravity into the height h. So, potential energy is equal to mgh and kinetic energy is equal to 0. So, what will be the total energy? 0 plus mgh gives us the total mechanical energy or the energy possessed by the body. The total energy is equal to 0 plus mgh, that is equal to. So this is the energy possessed by the body when it is at the position A. Now let us see what is the energy possessed by the body when it is at the position B. That is to the ground. At this, just reach the ground. At that time, what will be its energy? When the ball is at B, just at reach the ground, at that time, the velocity of the ball is maximum. When the ball is at the position A, there the potential energy is maximum and kinetic energy is 0. The moment the ball reaches the position B, at this position, the ball possesses kinetic energy which is at its maximum, and here the potential energy, because the height has become 0, becomes 0. And the kinetic energy is half mv square, where v is the maximum. So the total energy at B is 0 plus half mv square, that is equal to half mv square. So we see that the whole of the potential energy at A, which was mgh, was converted to kinetic energy. This is at an ideal case. We are not talking about the energy lost in friction and all other air resistance things. Here at the position in between A and B, in this position, the ball has both potential energy and kinetic energy, but they are in such a way that the sum of the potential energy and the kinetic energy is always equal to the same amount. That is, say if the ball has 10 joules of energy at position A, the ball will still have 10 joules of energy at middle of A and B. It will have energy 10 joule at B even. Only the forms will change, but the energy at all the three positions will remain same. So this is what the law of conservation of energy states. I hope you could all understand.